Students, from today onwards, we'll start chapter 8 decimals. And today I will explain question number 1 and 2 of exercise 8.1. But before that, I need to give you some details, or you can say I will explain you about the place values of the decimal numbers. Okay, so suppose if there is one decimal number is like this, 0.3. Now you see the first digit on the right hand side of the decimal, what is the place value of this one? Is 10th. Remember this, okay? 10th. Now, what about this one? Now, what is the place value of 1? It is 10th. And what is the place value of this one? This will be 100. Fine. So, the second digit on the right hand side of the decimal would be what? 100th. You see? D after D, I have written TH also. Now, what about this one? Now, as you all know, the first digit on the right hand side of the decimal is what? 10th. The second digit on the right hand side of the decimal will be considered as 100. And what would be the third digit then? It will be considered as 1000, students. Fine. So, the first digit on the right hand side of the decimal will be considered as 10th. The second digit on the right hand side of the decimal will be considered as 100th. The third digit on the right hand side of the decimal will be considered as 1000th. Fine. These are very, very important things. Now, what about if I give you a big number? Suppose like this. That is 123.657. Now, if I ask you the place value of all the digits, fine. So, on the left hand side of the decimal, we'll carry on with the same type of digits that we use, that we already know. That is, this 3 will be considered as ones. This 2 will be considered as tens. We all know this, isn't it? And what about this one? We'll consider this as 100, isn't it? Now, what about this one? What I said? The first digit on the right hand side of the decimal will be considered as 10th. The second digit on the right hand side of the decimal will be considered as 100. Sorry, yes, 100. And the third digit on the right hand side of the decimal will be considered as 1000. Fine. So normally we will not write like this. I'm just showing it to you, showing this to you in this way. But you do not have to represent the place value like this. You have to make a box and then you have to represent. Fine. So this is what exactly we'll do for in question number 1 and in question number 2. Okay. So let's move on to question number 1. Now, according to the first sum of question number 1, this type of figure is given. Fine. So now you have to write this decimal form just by drawing a table. Now, how to draw the table? Okay, so for this, you have to make a rectangle box like this, and you have to make 4 columns. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Now, in the first column, you will write 100. Then, in the second column, you will write tens. Then on the third column you will write ones, and then you will write tenth. I hope you remember that the first digit on the right hand side of the decimal will be considered as tenth. Fine. And on the left hand side, the first digit will be considered as ones, the second digit will be considered as tens, and the third digit will be considered as 100, and so on. Fine. Now, what is the first sum? You see, first sum. So if you carefully observe, how many tens are given? 1, 2, 3. Is there any 100 is given? No. So in first sum, only 3 tens are given. So in place of 100, as because no 100 is mentioned, so we will put 0. This is for number A, students. How many tens are given? 1, 2, 3. So we will write 3 tens are given. How many ones are given? Only 1. So we will write 1. And how many tenth are given? 2. Isn't it? 2. So we will write 2. Very, very easy. Okay. The same way we will do question number B also. Okay. Same way we will do question number B also. Just a minute, students. So in question number B of question number 1, we have one big box which is 100. So how many hundreds are there? There is 100 is there. Okay. And how many tens are there? Only one. So we'll write 1 tens are there. How many ones are there? So we cannot see any ones is there. So we'll put 0 under ones. And how many tenths are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So we will write 4 tenths are there. So this is a solution of sum number B of question number 1. Now let's move on to question number 2. Now this is question number 2, students. So for question number 2 also we have to make this table, okay? Because when you have to show the place values, you have to always make a table. Fine. So now the first number is 19.4. So as you all know, if I write 19.4 like this, so what is the first digit on the right hand side of the decimal represents? It is 10th. On the left hand side, the first digit represents what? Ones, and the second digit will represent what? Tens. So how many tens are there? 1, so you will write 1 here. So no 100 is there, so we put 0. So how many ones are there, students? This is a place value of ones. So how many ones are there? 9. And how many tenth are there? That is 4. Okay, see, so easy. Fine. Now in this case 0.3. So 0 means there is no ones, that is only 0 ones is there. So you will put 0 ones. No tens is there, no 100 is there. So you will again put 0 here also. And how many tenth are there, students? That is 3. The plot is a place value of 3. That is tenth only. So you will write 3. So how many tenth? 3 tenth are there. Now see this question, 10.6. So how many hundreds are there? No 100. So you will put 0. How many tens are there? 1. So we will put 1. How many ones are there? 0 ones. So that means 0. And how many tenth are there? That is 6. Okay. Now the last one. How many hundreds are there? 200. That means 2. How many tens are there? 0 tens. So we'll write 0 tens. How many ones are there? 5 ones. So we'll write 5. And how many tenth are there? That is 9. Okay. So this is a solution of question number 2. Okay. So that's it for this session. Thank you so much. God bless you all and take care.